Hi there, good morning. Today another little video about a part that will eventually go on my Santiago bike for now, at least for the next couple of months. Issue is that I am preparing my bicycle for Bukatima for the summer in Singapore. Bukatima is, I think I said this before, Bukatima is the only mountain biking trail in Singapore to speak of. It's very close to the center and where we're going to stay. It's just like whatever, half an hour outside the main activity there. And it's a fantastic trail, very demanding. And the bike basically in its form more or less has been born there, or shall I say, it spent most of its formative time of the shape that is in right now, right there, so it's kind of perfect. Yeah, some of the locals would disagree because they think you must have suspension. Well, I'm generally of the kind of philosophy that if less still does it, then that's better because less is more. That'll be my logic. Anyway, so I need the stem that is on my daily commuter. Sorry, should I say errands runner? And I need to therefore give it another stem. Now, for whatever reason, I have this wick stem, which for a long period of time was as cheap as toast on the internet in Great Britain at least, and that's probably where I bought this. Never been used really on a bike. I've never ridden a bike with the stem. I think it looks naff, completely naff, minus this plate's okay, but the way I will mount it is so that I'm getting as much rise as I can have of this one. And as I'm using I'm using a 90 millimeter rise bar, a modern one, so there's almost enough rise for me to be really comfortable. So I already polished this surface here, and originally I had mounted the head plate the wrong way around, so that's why this is polished here and that is polished there. But I turn it around, I fix it up now so that it's right, and theoretically if it's mounted in this is the top, so you can still read the inscription. Alright, so what I'm doing now to make this a little bit less aggressive, I'm just chamfering it and put a chamfer on every top surface that matters. I will also put one here eventually, and I've used my very coarse file, so this makes quick work of taking stuff down and it doesn't get clogged up with the fine aluminium. I then use this file, which is a bit finer, but I think I'm done filing. I'm going to switch to 180 sandpaper on a block, and obviously the idea is to polish this surface, polish that surface, and all the chamfer going around, so that'll be a little bit less in your face. So let's go for it. Yeah, let's just do the flat top surface first. Come to think of it, let's just feel it. I just want to know what this will be like. Sanding is much harder to get any material off on a little smallish part, but since I want this to be polished finally, high gloss polish, I can't continue to file because afterwards all I'll do is correct the filing problems that one has caused. What I always do first is feel the surface. How can I tune into the surface so I'm actually doing it justice? And so I find the mistakes, I find the challenges of the shape, and I can then get a nice result. There's nothing nice and shiny with an incorrect surface, I would say, unless the incorrect surface is what you define as beauty. You know, for example, if patina is your thing, then imperfection is what you're looking for. If you're looking for a perfectly shiny, polished surface, then you want to have a perfect surface. Actually, it just occurred to me, I'm going to chamfer these little holes, and that I should be doing first. I like to use my electric drill or shell. This is actually mainly for bolting things in, because this is a little bit more sensitive. I'm doing this normal to the surface, so the pattern will be not in the direction of the hole, and I'm watching so I'm not doing it too much, because the sides is getting a bit too thin. Can do a bit more. I like a nice defined decided chamfer, but if it's normal to the surface and not normal to the direction of the hole, then it's irregular in its shape. So we'll put this away. Done with that. So I always have a sinker on hand, and these shavings are gone. So vacuum it is. Okay, so that's all the machining done. It's the hard job, sanding. And so I've just realized it's going to be the hardest thing to get into this negative, to this transition. So that's what I'm working on. That's what I mean by feeling. Feel what you're doing. There's no point in making this and this edge perfect and then you can't get there and then you compromise this again. So if this is what you need to do first and everything else comes after, kind of automatically, like this is a byproduct of me fixing that. So that's what I need to do. Focus on the negative. And I'm still doing it with the block. Alright, so that's me felt this. So this is down. We're gonna be fine. And this is 180 grit, so remember this is easy. This is the easiest, but then it's the most important one, the first one. It would be better to do this wet. I will eventually go wet, but at the moment I just prefer not to. There is a reason why cheap parts like this have the kind of surface they do. Because the tool wasn't perfect, the original casting element wasn't perfect, the surface afterwards via the manufacturing process are not perfect. So polishing something like that could be considered rather dumb. So I freely admit what I'm doing here is polishing a bit of something that wasn't fit for polishing. Maybe that's exactly the attraction for me. Do the impossible. It's a little bit harder to continuously do things that shouldn't be done, but you see, we're getting there. So now we're getting slowly closer to this, and the benefit is that this surface is going to be afterwards as perfect as it comes. Yeah. We are getting there. Itchy. So let's call this beautifying the unbeautifiable. What's happening? Okay. This really is off. I should have filed a bit more on that, but I didn't, and I won't. And as for that surface, I'll call it a day. We have a plan B. These two things are not right next to each other. Because by the time the handlebar is in, they're separated. So now I've gone everything. I have gone over everything, and here's obviously a massive issue I've done with the file, which I now have to sulfur with the sandpaper. Well, such is what happens. This is now the time when you don't postpone something, because it only gets harder as the grade of sandpaper goes down. It does not become easier. Sorry, the grade of sandpaper goes up, as in the number of the paper goes up. Even we will continue to take material off. It's not getting any easier. I'm not sure whether I'm even in the picture again. I keep doing this. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. what this is now is hard precision, hard work, hard precision work. And I cannot change the direction of the movement. Over. No, not now. Okay. So now I'm going to forget about the red. I'm going to just deal with my shape, making sure my shape is correct. So now I'm gonna go across all the surface first, one more time. Negative and the flat. Good enough. Negative, 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 and the flat. Let's just lay. Then we're going to go here. Negative, 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 and the flat. Okay, then for the chamfer. For the chamfer. Okay, and then that chamfer. This is in the same direction. A bit more on the right. Okay. That surface. And the chamfer. Okay. Now into the chamfer on the side. Negative, constantly moving to keep the paper fresh. Negative, straight. Negative, straight. And let's do this chamfer. And that. So that these are the same, and then negative, straight, negative, straight. Okay, and lastly this. So that was the 180, and I will basically do this now with the 240 and then go all the way through, same procedure, just use finer sandpaper. So I'll do 400, 600, 800, 1000, 1200, 1500, 2000, 2.5 and 3, and then I'll polish. So let me go sand. I will do wet sanding, but the only difference is that I will add water, and I will do this off camera because it's just a repetition of the same old thing. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and for those of you who want to leave a like, I'd be very thankful. And for those of you, if you leave a dislike, that is okay. But if you just leave a dislike, I don't know why. So prefer if you comment as well and explain. Okay? So thanks very much. Take care.